Hi, everyone. Welcome to this happy Friday, this Friday of wisdom, as we all come together for this YouTube live so that we can live the happiness that is our inheritance and it is our function. It's been very exciting for me to do these live. I feel that it's so beautiful to be in the collective and healing together. I truly feel that when we do these things in group, there's definitely like a ripple effect that takes place of where we all get to truly heal our minds as a unit with the power that we have within ourselves as we join more and more and more with our true self. So that being said, I just wanted to welcome everyone. Every Friday, I will be here sharing truth with you. Stephanie, you said it well. I can't remember how you said it, but you said like some wisdom, Friday wisdom or something. I love the way that you mentioned it on Facebook. And yes, that's what it is. We're going to have little nuggets of wisdom every Friday on how to live the happiness that is our divine right to live. So before we begin, I always like to start with prayer and to go ahead and give over this live to our inner wisdom, to the energy of love to guide it fully. Today, we are going to be getting into talking about Friday reminders. Yes, Stephanie, thank you. Friday reminders. I love it. So the reminder now is the reminder for this week is going to be cultivating self-love. It's going to be all about reminding you today on that you're worthy of love and how to be able to cultivate that into your life and recognizing that you are worthy. You are worthy to be the love of your life. And that Monday through Sunday. Let's pray. Let's close our eyes as we have the opportunity now to just go within. And if you're driving or if you are not in a remote place that you close your eyes, I invite you to just tune in within. And if you can take just a pause and a break to just be here with us. And if you're watching this on replay, I invite you to try to bring your mind into stillness, letting go of the chatter in your mind and going within as we give ourselves the gift of going within. Take a few deep breaths here. So at this time, we give over this YouTube live to our inner wisdom, to Holy Spirit, to the angels, to guide it fully, to guide me fully on what to say, what to express that is the most benefit of healing our minds. Also, whatever questions need to be prompted that will heal a collective, I welcome them. We welcome them. And we allow things to just flow, to be in ease and grace. As I like to say, easy is normal. And just have fun. It's Friday. Let's enjoy this time together. Thank you, Spirit, for being here with us. I see us all basking in joy. I see us all celebrating in this YouTube live room as we all get to remember collectively that we are love, that we are lovable, that we are worthy, that we are valuable in God, in the eyes of God. We've never left the mind of the divine. We're grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet Spirit. May we be filled with joy and wonder as we step into this new beginning, this new happy Friday. All together, put your hand on your heart. And I invite you to open your eyes as you declare, I am love and I am willing. So I wanted to go ahead and dive into the lesson for today. It has a lot to do with the month. This month it's very hard for people, especially that are struggling with self-love. This month comes up a lot of things because in the supposedly it's Valentine's on February. And I feel that it's a time of where people can get into guilt or feel lonely. If you're in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, it's just a very, very hard time. I feel this month, sometimes for some people. And I feel like it's a hard time anytime being in this world of duality. There's always, we always have a hard time. So this is going to be all about letting go of that stress and starting to really feel really comfortable with your true self, feel very, very comfortable with being in your skin, feel very, very comfortable around people and confident. That's what, self-love is all about, true confidence in your true self. First, I want to talk about recognizing the problem. So what is the problem here? Let's look at it. Why is it that we don't feel love? Why is it that we don't feel worthy? Why is it that we don't feel that we're enough? And why is it that we consistently look for something outside to fix the inside? The Course in Miracles talks about how the Son of God forgot to laugh. It talks about how we thought for a slight moment that maybe there's something better. So we start with this amazing space, being in the kingdom of heaven, being in joy, no duality, no separation, completely worthy, completely valued, completely loved, like just like ecstasy would be, right? And then there's just one thought that says, hey, let me go play over there, right? Let me go see what's over there. So then there's this separation that occurs, the Course in Miracles talks about, of where now we are stuck and supposedly feel like we are this body, but not so much even the body. We really identify so much with the egoic mind. Like we really believe the egoic mind is us. So this is the problem. this is the issue. That's why we can't feel completely loved or capable of experiencing all the love we want or feel love, because we believe we are the egoic mind and we believe we have separated from God. Now, the problem gets a little bit more complicated, because now that we have separated from God, the Course talks about, now we feel guilty because of that separation. This is why the Course says we are not upset for the reason we think. We project our guilt outside in situations so that we can be right about the way that we feel. We could be right about our unworthiness. We could be right about our lovelessness. We could be right about our fear. We could be right that we're not good enough. So what we do is, and this is very unconscious, right? We want to be right, so we're like scavenger dogs, the Course says. So we look outside for testimony of our lack of love. Isn't that crazy? Like we literally set it up for ourselves within the external world so we can be right, right? So let me give you an example. I mean, let's say like I'm not saying that this is something I struggled with, but there's, I've heard like a friend of mine say once, I feel like all men, are cheaters. I feel like all men are unfaithful. And then she has evidence of that. She has evidence that men are cheaters because obviously she's been cheated on. And not only that, then she sees that some of her guy friends that are married want to be with her. So then she could be right that all men are cheaters. Right? So this is like a perfect example of how we set it up inside with our belief system because we believe our thoughts. We go ahead, and because of this separation from God, this guilt that we separated from God, then we have to punish ourselves. And I know that this is very metaphysical. I know that this is very, how do I say this, radical. But I just invite you to put it on the shelf if it's a little bit confusing for you. But that is the problem. The problem is that we identify with the loveless mind, with the egoic mind, because of this separation that happened from the mind of God. Now, the solution, the good news is that the response to the egoic mind that was created is the Holy Spirit, is the voice of truth. that the course talks about is our true self. That is the response to the egoic mind. So that's the good news. The good news is that we have our inner friend, our best friend, that replaces this fear in our minds if we choose. Because if we're willing and we choose the mind of love, we are free. We remember our inheritance. We remember our function. We remember where we've never left. Right? That is so powerful. It is so freeing to know that there is another way. So this is the solution. The solution is one of them being to be able to cultivate more self-love, to be the love of your life, is to be a master at choosing your thoughts, to be a master at being mindful, to be a master at the observation of your thoughts and choosing fear or love. You need to start to become a master at being really good at spotting the egoic mind because of the way you feel. So if you're not feeling at peace, you know that there's some thoughts in your mind that are loveless, that are not aligned. So what you do is you start to, little by little, start to no longer believe in what your mind might be saying. There's no necessity to. Just because it's a thought doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. So this is what you need to really dig deep and discard all these thoughts that come in, which would be, I am lonely, I am alone, I'm never going to find a partner, I'm worried that my ex-husband is going to have more time with the kids than myself, I'm worried I'm going to get fired, I'm worried that I don't have money, all these stressors of life, right? You can go ahead and say stop it to these thoughts, because you have every right to say stop these thoughts. There's no necessity to have to believe in them. Just because they're there doesn't mean that they are true. So that is a very, very important practice in this self-love process, in being the love of your life. And that goes to say, the time has come. Now hear me well. The time has come for you to stop bad-mouthing yourself. Okay? Stop bad-mouthing yourself. How can you be the love of your life if you are not being loving to yourself, right? I'm going to go ahead and read from Live Your Happy, which is my book that just came out about 2 years ago. There's actually a chapter which is based on this live, which is called You Are the Love of Your Life. Excuse me, guys, I'm still a little sick. Chapter 4, You Are the Love of Your Life. When you're always looking for something or someone to complete us, we soon feel as if we're living in hell. Happiness and love go hand in hand. And we are taught that not only our happiness, but also our love is somewhere out there. This is the egoic thought system, okay, guys? So we're going to soon feel like we're living in hell if we're constantly searching outside for to be fixed on the inside. Right? So the only way that we're going to be fixed on the inside is not by looking for something outside. The only way that you fix what's going on is by going to the core of it, going to the part of where it resides, which is where? In your thought system, in your mind, in what you're perceiving, right? There's this beautiful thing that my husband told me the other day from a book he's reading, which is like, there are no problems, really. There is a perceptional problem. Right? There's really, in reality, no problems, because problems are just part of this world. They're part of the deviation of the true self. It's really the perception is how you are perceiving them. Stephanie says, the ego is so tricky, using everything in the world as a weapon against us to keep us mindless instead of focused on God. Yes, very true, Stephanie. It's tricky because it actually makes us believe that it makes us believe actually that it is a good thing. The ego tricks us because it's like, it thinks like, if I attack, let's say my husband, automatically it makes me feel like, oh, if you attack now, then you're going to be saved. If you attack now, then you're not going to hurt, right? If you attack your brother now, then you are free, you are safe. And that is not true because he is just me. So if I attack him, I'm just following more into the egoic thought system. But it feels good at the beginning. I'm like, oh, let me attack him so I don't have to hold this guilt anymore. But the truth is that it's very tricky, as you said. And the more that we undo the ego in our minds, the more love we are, and we recognize that we are all love in one mind. And that's actually here. You remind me of something here about I'm going to read it real quick. I lost the page getting all excited. We are one. It is. Love is one. You may think that there's different types of love. A love for this and a love for that. A way of loving one person and a different loving another. You may think that you love your child more than your best friend, or you may think that you love your husband more than the store clerk. But love is one. It has no degrees and can't really be separated into different forms. A very helpful approach is to consider that you love everyone. And this is another beautiful element of self-love, is the recognition that we are all one and that we're all connected. And the more that you love or appreciate or accept what is the figures in the dream outside, the more you're going to be more self-loving, because the attack is really never on the other person. The attack is always on yourself. So if you think that you're holding a knife over that person, you're really holding a knife over your head, because it's just going to come back to yourself. Because the only reason you project it out is because you want to get away from it. So I invite you this week, the practices, because I always say, I want to be able to practice every week. This week, I want you to do this practice of being very mindful of your thoughts and to stop bad-mouthing yourself. This is the first step to self-love, is to stop bad-mouthing yourself, to start to be very vigilant about your thoughts and what you're thinking. And I want you to think these questions, which are found in this chapter, which is this thought based on valuing myself? Is this action based on valuing myself? Is this pattern of behavior based on valuing myself? So those are the three questions. Is this thought based on valuing myself? Is this action based on valuing myself? And is this pattern based on valuing myself? And just go through life. And if you're going to get the phone, ask yourself this question. Is this phone call going to be aligned to my true self? Is this phone call going to be aligned to valuing myself? Is me even writing this text valuing myself? If this person told me they're not emotionally available, but I'm going to text them anyways, is that a loveless act? Is that a love-filled act, or is that a loveless act? So I invite you to just be very, 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 very vigilant of your thoughts this week. And I want you to, throughout the week, to, think about other people and just share, think in your mind, we share the same love. So if you're at Trader Joe's and you're checking out, just in your mind, just say, we share the same love. If you are picking a fight with someone or in a grievance with someone, just think, we share the same love. And just do this practice consistently, and it's very, very helpful in cultivating self-love. Speaking of self-love, I'm going to go really deep in my next self-love mastery class. Actually, it's the first one I do online. I teach a lot about self-love. It's something that I hold dear to my heart because it's something I struggled with a lot. And I feel all of us collectively struggle with self-love. So I will be doing a self-love masterclass, and I will be posting that on the description. I'll be posting that on the description so that you can have access to register for that. It is going to be very, very soon. So check out the description. In the description, check out that link. I'll see you guys next Friday for another Friday reminder of what is really true about you. And in the meantime, I just invite you to practice, and just remember that no matter what anybody tells you, no matter what your thoughts may tell you, or maybe what you believe, the truth about you is that you are the love of your life, and you are worthy because you are God's love. All right, everyone, till next time.